When did you actually get involved in umpiring?
So I started umpiring in 2014. Uh, I was playing hockey, and I just moved to Western Wildcats in Glasgow, and I realised that I, compared to some of the other people that were there, I wasn't great. So I decided that it would probably be better to try and umpire. Um, and I think actually I was one of the first, when I was looking back at it, I was one of the first ones to do the level one course, the new level one course at Auchenhowie. So I think starting to umpire in 2014 was kind of good for me because a lot of things were changing over from the old C badge as well. So
That's grand. So obviously that's like 7+ years ago now.
yeah,
What age were you then? Were you kind of
so
14, 15? No,
15.
you were 15 when you first started.
Yeah,
And why did you start? I mean, you've kind of said you moved to a new club. You maybe weren't as good as some of the other boys. Was that the main driver to get into umpiring?
I think my mum was a big influence in it as well because she did a lot of umpiring and she does a lot of technical official stuff now. So it was more kind of still trying to stay in the sport and trying to stay active as well because it was a kind of, I wasn't really wanting to do hockey anymore. But I think it was a kind of way of keeping me in the sport.
Yeah. And do you still play a little at the minute, or are you just umpiring?
Just umpiring. Yeah, I'm a lot better at that.
What do you like about umpiring?
I think the social side of hockey comes out a lot more when you're umpiring, especially in kind of national league level, because you're doing teams that normally you might not meet every day. You know, I'm going a lot to Dundee and down to Edinburgh and places like that, and that's normally places that I wouldn't tend to go, um, being from Glasgow and stuff. So it's quite nice to meet new people and stuff like that. I think that's one of the key things for me.
That's kind of social and connecting with others from other areas.
Mm.
Fab. What advice would you give to somebody thinking about starting umpiring now?
Um, I think just try it, to be honest, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about umpires and umpiring in general. Um, you you don't have to do it just as a thing for your club. It can actually be something that you enjoy. Um, and I think that's what I would say, certainly.
Cool, yeah. What's the best piece of advice that you were given about umpiring?
Um, I think there's lots of advice that I've been given. Some of it's not great, but I think some of the oh, sorry, uh, I think some of the advice I'd probably best I think is probably best is probably just take your time with it. It's not like, because I've kind of been wanting to push forward and umpire and stuff like that. You don't have to get there really quickly, and it's not about judging yourself against other umpires at your age and stuff. Just take your time, and you'll get to where you want to be eventually.
Yeah. So it's that you have your own goals and
Yeah,
set them and try and achieve your own goals and not kind of have your set sight on somebody else. Is that
yeah. Just don't
yeah?
don't be competitive with your goals and stuff like that. It's because it's not about that. It's not a competitive side of the sport. It's more kind of you're doing it for the enjoyment of others.